do it for the right reasons, because if you're getting in it for the money and not the passion, the love for it anymore, it's not going to last long. So make sure your heart's in it, and that's all you really need, because then you'll make everything work. Because we've been through all the trials and tribulations of the last 3 decades and everything that's happened, from coming underground, coming into the forefront light. Now everything's presented in front of you, and it can probably be overwhelming. I can't imagine myself getting into it. I would want to, take it down, but just keep it simple. Yeah, start with good genetics.
Good genetics, good inputs. I mean, you are what you eat. If you were to eat McDonald's every day, it's the plant is the same way.
I left LA for MJ Biz. I'm with Green Rebates, the best there is. If you're working with us, you can't grow mids. I take a hit and can't finish my sentences.
Welcome back to the Money Talks podcast. I am sitting down with the 2 beautiful people that I met 20 minutes ago, Jeff and Tanya from Organitek. How are we feeling? MJ Biz 2025. What are the vibes like?
It's electric.
It is
Thanks.
electric. Yeah. Thank you.
E-money. Can I call it e-money?
E-money, free money, or Ethan, or King Javarius III. Yeah. So, and free money, I'll tell you why my name is Free Money later. But I want to learn about Organitek. So we'll start with you, Tanya. How did you kind of work your way into the cannabis industry?
So I came across this amazing light back in the day. It was plasma light. So back before energy efficiency, and it was a real topic, people were making more money. And so I looked at it and I said, let's make a different reflector. Let's tweak the spectrum. Developed a light, worked in conjunction with Lumitech at the time, launched a product called Rocket Plasma. And that was about 15 years ago. So this is way back. In that time period, I was actually noticing that bacteria responded differently in the soil, depending on the light spectrum. So you had a little bit easier light spectrum, healthier soil. That led into plant nutrients and bacteria, and looking at we are what we eat, and that concept of the better the nutrients, the better the bacteria, the more flavor profile you have in the plant, the healthier the plant, the more terpenes, the better bud. So we have Organitek is a plant nutrient and microbial inoculant company, and we specify in actual high quality inputs. So yes, you can grow cannabis, but can you grow good cannabis? Yeah. And that's what we are all about.
Interesting. So take it back to the plasma light. What was the industry's initial reaction when that first released?
Oh, they thought I was crazy. No,
It was skeptical.
It was skeptical, and it was, but there was still a lot to learn. I mean, we were dosing plants with a massive amount of energy, not necessarily targeted for the spectral output that the plant needed. So the goal was, can we take this 1,000 watts and chop off the fat, basically, get it to a targeted 230 watt spectrum that was very, very targeted to plant uptake. And then we reduce all that waste, because we didn't have a lot of energy rebates back in the day, and people were spending so much money on energy. They had IR issues. I mean, it was quite an impressive industry with all of this light. So
that's some groundbreaking stuff right there.
It was back in the day.
It was a little ahead of her time. I think if she would have entered the plasma lighting in conjunction with the LED push happened, we would have had a better kind of foot in the door in competition. But I think the plasma, people are still a little skeptical leaving the...
Just hearing that word, right?
Yeah.
Because back then it was all HPSs, right?
Oh, yeah. HPS, metal halide, and all we took was a radio frequency to excite some salts in a tiny little bulb.
It's a tiny bulb, and then it just excites it. It doesn't use the traditional Edison bulb coil in there. There's no filament. It's an excitement of electricity, electrons in there.
And it was at a time where we didn't have MJBizCon really. It's still maximum yield. Everyone went to maximum yield. CannaCon was kind of in the near future. That was one of the first where we sponsored. But we still talked about it as a tomato. It wasn't, hey, what are you growing? You walk around here and you can see exactly what the industry is about. It's MJBizCon. Back in the day, it was, here's a tribute to the big tomato out in Denver. I mean, that was the code word, and we would hang up on people if they started asking questions. So, yeah.
Prank caller.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that.
We still use those plasma lights in my grow. I still have one, kind of the checkerboard system that some people implement on there. I still have a Rocket Plasma in there as an ode to that. Yeah. And it works.
To her, yeah, innovativeness. Is that a word? Innovation?
Something like that.
I don't know. You're the wordsmith
She's
here.
an innovatress.
Yeah. So, Jeff, what about you? How did you get into the industry, and how did you two meet?
Yeah, it was a match made in heaven. But I've been a grower half my life in Tahoe, Kings Beach, and yeah, the indoor scene there is incredible. Everybody I met there, moving there at 22, we were all ski bumps. We moved there and we loved growing weed. And that's when, California came legal in '96. We were growing with our medicinal license, and we just got in a big group. And the music scene was big in there, and I've loved growing. I was born in Omaha, third generation farmer, but not the farming I'm doing now. And then, in that Tahoe music growing scene, met Tanya at a couple music festivals.
That's the greatest place to meet the love of your life is a music festival.
And it was the last name. It was Funk. Funk music. Funk, he's a cool guy.
I'm there showing my best moves, and I've always appreciated Tanya's moves on there. And it was a perfect collaboration. And then, And then we got an outdoor place and had the nutrients kind of going there on outside. And then with that legalization kind of turn, we kind of saw a paradigm shift happening in the whole industry from cultivation to inputs. And that's when Tanya and I linked in 2016. And then really got that dialed and took over manufacturing and went from Kings Beach all the way. Now we're 13 acres up north of Tahoe on just an hour north. And we have our production facility up there. Everything's in-house now. And now we've just kind of become everything's in the warehouse under the sun. It's kind of shifted from the cultivation. Now we just have an RD garden, much more manageable. My heart rate's much lower now, not having to keep in the hamster wheel grind.
So if say I wanted to start growing tomorrow, what's the first piece of advice either of you would give me?
Love it. Love it. Yeah.
Do it for the right reasons, because if you're getting in it for the money and not the passion, the love for it anymore, it's not going to last long. So make sure your heart's in it, and that's all you really need, because then you'll make everything work. Because we've been through all the trials and tribulations of the last 3 decades and everything that's happened, from coming underground, coming into the forefront light. Now everything's presented in front of you, and it could probably be overwhelming. I can't imagine myself getting into it. I would want to, take it down, but just keep it simple. Yeah, start with good genetics.
Good genetics, good inputs. I mean, you are what you eat. If you were to eat McDonald's every day, it's the plant is the same way. So listen to it. Be there for passion. Enjoy the process. You're not gonna
watch it grow. Spend time in it. Just time in there, playing at some reggae. Sometimes pump it up. And that transition into flower. It needs something a little more aggressive.
It's crazy to think that plants are like living beings, and they.
Do you know they're actually looking at ways of measuring the clicks? So they click. They make sound. It's their way of, we can't hear it.
Like talking to you?
Yeah.
They are talking, we just don't have a way of listening to it.
Yeah. So if you think of musicality of the plants, right? It's like, well, how can we look at tracking that and studying the next, iteration moving forward? Let's look at opening that up, because if a plant can literally tell you what it needs, and we're getting better at tracking the kind of micronutrients, the macronutrients, and the feeding schedule. And that, I think, is kind of the future of where it's going, which is really exciting. That's a whole new world. Yeah.
Love it. So, I was interviewing a really successful grower in Michigan, and he said something kind of crazy, but he's successful, so I believed him. But he was like, yeah, whenever there was a month period where my relationships outside of work weren't good. I just had bad energy, and my plants were suffering because they could feel my energy. But then when I started to have a positive outlook on life, my plants were flourishing. Do you guys?
It's that energy, it's that frequency, it's that vibration that's absolutely passed on.
I mean, think about it, and it's back with plasma. One of the differences between plasma and LED is LED is a digital interpolation. It's a digital representation of light, whereas plasma was analog. So coming back to you from a musical approach, let's just tie that in. Yeah. Think about putting on an old original press record, right? Versus there's a lot of digitally remastered that's done really well, but sometimes you put on that old record and you just feel it. Yeah. And I feel like that frequency component is actually really important in your garden as well. So positive vibes, a lot of love. The minute you start forcing it, you're going to have problems. And, and the plant is stressed out, it's going to react and it's going to call to it different pests, different diseases. So again, goes back to the healthy rhizosphere. It's like a healthy gut with a person, good vibes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Your vibe attracts your tribe. I've seen
Nice.
that on a bunch of Instagram captions, and I can't believe I said that out loud. I'm so basic. But
I like it. I like it.
But so was there ever a point, so how long you guys have been in the industry? What, 20 years now? 16?
I mean, yeah, I've been in the industry itself just over 15 years myself as a product. So manufacturing, being at the lighting, or then getting into microbes and minerals and food source.
So what is it? I mean, I know, a talk and like a common theme is like the industry isn't in the best place right now. A lot of people are frustrated, and I could see why, especially like people in states like Minnesota where, the license rollout was kind of a shit show. But what keeps you guys like positive and motivated for a successful future?
There's always been kind of an ebb and a flow. People have things have always been changed. That's the one thing that has been consistent, because we're still trying to figure it out, right? Every state's trying to figure it out. You're doing some things right, some things wrong. It's going to change, and that kind of impermanent nature is a steady. So if you look at it from a macro level, and you really do have that passion player mentality, you're going to get through it. It's again, you can't come in this looking at it, it's a quick fix. It's not that way. You have to have that love into it, and there needs to be something you can resonate with. That's my advice.
Yeah, I like that it's getting out there. It used to be, who's got the good weed, who's got, it was a status thing. Now everyone's got weed, who's got award-winning weed, who's doing it right. And I love getting the hopefully a federal limit, of everyone at least having 6 plants. Start them in your closet. Have that. Take the time with the 6 plants. Early on, we were just trying to grow for as much as we could, and not give all the attention to just the 6 plants that you could have. I love people are taking the time with it, really pheno hunting and getting these strains they like, and taking the time with them, and high stress testing them, and from one plant getting this awesome sea of green, pound plant out of a 5-gallon bucket. Hell yes. Like, I never had the time to veg that long and do that, but now it's kind of transitioning that. Everyone's got that knowledge. We want to share that knowledge. Like we when we acquired Success Nutrients, we launched the 3Alite, we made the 3Alite University public so everyone can go out there, and it goes in depth in everything from pruning to veg to upcutting, schwazzing.
Mystery schwazzing. So go to YouTube, you can find it. It's free.
Yeah, 3Alite University, all this in-depth that used to cost thousands of dollars, we've given it out there to the people for free. As every state comes on and gets legal, like, here's the knowledge. We want you to be able to be your best self and grow your best ladies you can too, or males.
Yeah.
If you're breeding,
That's
but
true.
yeah.
Why is that so? Why are you guys so passionate about not only growing weed and working, but also educating like new growers and new experts?
Because we learn more. We can only study as much as we have. Time is the one commodity that is so valuable, right? And as much as we can put into studying different nuances of boron levels and molybdenum levels, well, we don't have that much time, right? We are limited to that. The more that we can have open conversations and actually share that, the more we can actually grow together. I mean, that's ultimately the goal, is to say, can we do less is more? Like, for instance, looking at different microbial consortia and seeing, okay, we can make roots grow dramatically different based on the pairing of different microbes. Those tests take a long time to perform. So the more we can really get out there and share and learn what people are doing, I think that's really powerful to us as an industry. I think we're also crossing over into the Monstera mamas, as I call them, like home gardeners. We're not that scary anymore. We can all be approached, and we can really look at this from an agricultural standpoint, and we can really give back.
Right, love that. What trends have you guys noticed among consumers over the last 5 years? Are people wanting to go after the highest THC content? Are people, like the people I talk to, they're just like, dude, I am overwhelmed with how high this weed. I just want something mellow. Point me to the least THC content. So what have you guys noticed?
There, some of the strains, I think it has to do with a lot of times, if you're a novice grower or kind of an old school grower, like a lot of times we would try and grow. If you've been at it a while, you want to pick a strain that's geared towards your terpene likes and whatnot. But then the stuff that was selling, back to your point, why are we in this? Cannabis has been good to me for over half my life. I've been growing it. So it's nice to see the plant become its full potential in as many hands as we can get it out there. Like, it's been good to me. We're here to give back to it and make sure, And we've gone through the cultivation struggles of it. And in the last 5 years, I think it's how to streamline things and make it easier, because my equipment was paid for in the first round way back when, people, it's not like that anymore. You're not getting $3,200 a pound. You're not getting $4K a pound. It doesn't pay for itself anymore. So you need to have fewer inputs, quality inputs, and do that. So that's kind of my take on it.
It like forces you to optimize, which can be a good thing.
Yeah. And I think people are getting more in tune with what they like. And it used to be everyone liked to talk about how heavy it could go. You go to like Emerald Cup and you're on the floor. Well, I can't even handle that anymore. I'm like, give me weed light. That's what I need.
Exactly. Diet weed.
Yes, exactly. And that's okay. And I think it's becoming more acceptable too. And I think again, it goes back to some people want to try and optimize their terpenes. They want to other people want to go with different cannabinoids. Again, they're learning different things, THCV or THCG, like that type of craft cannabis, I think is what is really becoming more popular. And it's really kind of fun.
Yeah, it is. It's the drinks. I don't know what you guys think about the drinks, but the THC drinks scare me, because I was at a weed event the other day and someone gave me a drink. They're like, just, it's strong, just take a couple sips. So I didn't, because it's like muscle memory to go like this when you're socializing. I didn't even realize that I drank the whole thing and I was high until yesterday. I was high for 48 hours straight and couldn't even sleep.
Yeah, and that we all have somewhat of an oral fixation, right? Just got to be having something. So don't hand me 100 milligram THC, because I'm going to drink the whole damn thing.
And it doesn't taste like weed. It's not like you're coughing.
Like the cookie, like Rice Krispie treats, my first and worst experience was on a Rice Krispie treat. I don't know about you, but I love Rice Krispie treats. And I can't eat just one, let alone one bite. You want me to have one bite? That's 10 mils? Like, no, I'm gonna eat the whole goddamn thing. So, yeah, I am not a fan of the 100 milligram dosing around there. 5 milligrams, like last night, the event, they had 5 milligram once. I can handle that, or 2.
Did you go to Nubu last night? It's the after party, so I don't know if you'll be able to get out over there, but it's like the happy hour.
You gotta get out, bro.
No, I'm going to. We got the Michigan event. MI Canna Pros. Have you heard of that one?
Nice,
yeah, we're
nice.
The Jackpot sponsor them, so we're gonna be there.
Nice.
But then MJ's, are you guys coming to the MJ's and the MJ's after party?
Yes.
Okay.
We are. But last night they had a terpene beverage.
Wow.
No CBD, no THC, no cannabinoids. Terpenes. Because terpenes can actually give you the psychotropic effect, very akin to it, but again, it keeps it mellow and depends on where you're at. So yet another little nuance. You grow a good plant with good terpenes, you can still have low THC levels, but still get that little buzz without knocking yourself over the top.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's a good segue, because I wanted to ask you guys, what's like the most innovative thing you've seen maybe in the last year in the cannabis industry?
I'm going Blue Lab on this one. They're starting to track the clicks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the science, if we can listen to the plants and have it kind of, I think that's how human technology is going to go too. Like, we're going to have RNA little bots and a utility belt, and they're going to be in our bloodstream telling us what we're low on. Oh, you need more magnesium, this, and little injectors. If we can get that with plants right now, saying, whoa, stop the cow mag, we're good right there. Like, yes, just gotta, we deciphered dolphins. Like, it's only a matter of time. We'll get plants here.
And touching on Organitek, like, what's your guys' proudest accomplishment maybe in the last couple of years, or what's something that you're working on right now that you're really proud of?
So we're taking the Mammoth P research. So back in the day, Mammoth P, we acquired that knowledge, a lot of the consortia that they were working on with the time that Grosentia closed, along with Mammoth Can Control, which is now our Yeti Control. And so we are evolving that. And to me, we love working on the nutrients and testing everything of that, but really getting into the different biology and the different bacteria, we're making, it's kind of amazing from a lab geeky standpoint. When you're like, oh my gosh, I got an extra 1/4 inch of roots, on a tiny test. But that to me is most exciting. But
yeah, the microbes are incredible. What we're doing in the lab right now and taking that Grosentia technology further, and then dealing with a natural miticide, pesticide, because so many of these huge grows, take the hemp grows in Oregon that are going off, and they're testing hot when they come to labs for pesticides. They're like, oh, we can't do that. your whole summer's work gone. Can't do it. Like, what are you going to do? And like, that's why I love having a product too that these guys can use up to 2 weeks before harvest to spray it down. Like, get rid of those mites, get rid of the PM. Like let's obviously start preventative and keep it as a regular circulation with your IPM. But yeah, I mean, that's being able to have somebody's whole cycle not go to waste at the end of it.
Love it.
And it goes back to terpenes, because that's what we're fighting it with. It's the same thing. Even though we're using something different and different plant oil, we're still fighting pests with terpenes. So full circle, the terpenes are at.
I didn't know terpenes could fight pests.
They can make you feel like a little buzz. They can fight pests. They can drive them crazy. Yeah, there's a lot.
Magical. Well, where can I wish I could talk to you guys forever,
That's all right.
but where could everyone find you guys on social media if they want to contact you? What's the best way to do that?
Successnutrients.com.
SuccessNutrients.com, Organitek.com. Social media is at Success Nutrients. Check out 3Alight University on YouTube. So it's at 3Alight. That's, again, education for free.
And for anyone watching this, I know you're going to say, wow, that guy looks like TJ Miller. Wrong. TJ Miller looks like him because TJ Miller stole his swag.
Money Talks podcast, watch it on all your devices. Woo!